Hello everyone, this is Sesh Kashyap. Now I am going to continue the chapter that is of the water world. It is part 2. So let us continue now. Now let me tell you what are tides. Tides, you know what are tides? The rise and fall in the sea water. Yes, the rise and fall in the sea water. The waves are rising up and they are falling down. They are rising up, then they are falling down. So this rise and fall, this is known as rise, R-I-S-E, rise, or this is known as fall. Okay, so rise and fall on the sea water are known as tides. This rhythmic rise and fall in this level of sea water is known as tides, and these are caused by the gravitational force exerted by the moon, the sun, and the rotation of the earth. You know how these are caused? These are caused by exerting the pressure by the moon, sun, and the rotation of the earth. The moon, being very closer to the earth, exerts a greater gravitational force on water bodies closer to it. So let us discuss in this chapter what are two main types of tides. First is neap tides and next is spring tides. So let us see all these two tides what are. Yes, how these are caused. During the full moon and the new moon. When the full moon appears in the sky, or when there will be new moon in the sky, what happens on this day? The earth, the moon and the sun are in the same straight line. All these three, earth, moon and the sun, that comes in the same straight line. So the combined gravitational pull causes high tides. Yes, on the same day, on the full moon and the new moon, the earth, moon and the sun, they are in the straight line, or the combined gravitational pull causes high tides known as spring tides, and these high tides are known as spring tides. Okay, now come on to the what are neap tides and how they are caused. In the first and the last quarters, the ocean water is pulled in diagonally opposite directions by the gravitational force of the sun and the moon. It results in the occurrence of the low tides. Yeah, when the gravitational force of the sun and the earth, it results in the occurrence of the low tides, that is known as neap tides. Those are known as neap tides. Okay, so there are two types of tides. One is neap tides and one is spring tides. Okay, now learn the importance of tides. How these tides are useful to us. So let us study briefly. Tides clear mud. Yes, tides clear mud, and they used to collect the sides and the silt deposit from the mouth of rivers, so keep them open for ships. Yeah, when they used to rise up and they used to go back, they used to clear the mud. Okay, and these are very much useful for the ships. Tides are of very great help in shipping and navigation. You know how? When the ships used to travel in the sea, yes, the tides goes up and they enter. When the tides come in springtime, are especially favorable for large ships because they save the fuel. As the tides increase, the boat, the steamer used to run fast, so there is less usage of the fuel. Fishermen greatly are benefited by these tides because a large number of fish they can catch here. Yes, in large quantities, plentiful fishes they can catch here. Tides are very important cause of renewable energy in the form of fast movement of water during inflow and outflow. Yeah, already I have told you this one. When there are high tides, it is very useful for the ships to travel. So, a fast movement of water during inflow and outflow. So, these are some of the importance of tides, the benefits of tides we have. Yes, let us learn what are ocean currents and how they are useful. Yes, first of all, let me tell you what are ocean currents. Ocean currents, the continuous movement of the ocean water. Yes, continuous without changing. Yes, in the definite direction, in one particular direction is known as ocean current. Okay, the flowing of water. I should say that the continuous flowing of water in one different direction, in one particular direction is known as ocean currents. The water moves in the form of a river or broad stream flowing through the oceans at a speed varying from 2 to 10 kilometers per hour. The broad slow moving masses of water are called drifts. Yeah, or When they are moving continuously, then they are known as ocean currents. Or when slow moving masses, when there is a something decrease in the waterfall, decrease in the water, yes, that is known as what? These are known as drifts. Slow moving masses are known as drift, and fast moving water in a one particular direction is known as ocean current. Okay, yes. Now I am starting next one paragraph. So on the basis of temperature, ocean currents are classified into two types. These ocean currents are also of two types. One is cold ocean currents and one is warm ocean currents. So let's see what are warm and what are cold. The warm ocean currents flow from the equatorial regions. Yeah, from where they are flowing? They are also flowing from the hot areas, that are equatorial regions. And from where they are flowing? Towards, turn the page. Yes, they are flowing towards the polar regions. Yeah, they are flowing from the warmer areas to the cooler areas. And their temperature is more that of surroundings areas. While the temperature of the cold currents is more than that of the surroundings areas, and they used to flow from the polar regions towards the equatorial regions. And what about cold currents? That is opposite. They used to flow from the polar areas, colder areas to the equatorial areas. These are known as cold ocean currents. Okay. So ocean currents are caused by the winds, yeah, rotation of the earth, difference in density of ocean, water depending on temperature and salinity. Okay, yeah? Yes. So ocean currents flows in a direction of prevailing winds. Prevailing winds in one continuous direction, or they used to change the direction also after some time. Therefore, water from equatorial areas expands and flows towards the polar regions, while the water from the polar regions flows through the equatorial areas. Okay? Yes. So let us now come on to the next one. Sometimes a land mass may obstruct the flow of an ocean currents. Yeah, sometimes the land mass, the structure of the land mass can obstruct the flow of water, causing it to change its direction. If the land mass is something up and down, so what happens? At that time, it can change the direction of the water also. For example, equatorial current in the Atlantic Ocean divides into two branches. When it meets the South American coast, the Gulf Stream goes north. This is the example here. Yes, this is the example how it changes the direction. When it meets the South American coast, the Gulf Stream goes north and the Brazil current goes south. Okay, so this was a great examples how the ocean current changes direction. Yes, now see, warm and cold currents modify the temperature. Yes, obviously. Yes, because of the warm and cold currents, they used to change the temperature. When these winds blow over the coastal lands, when these winds used to blow from the coastal lands, they change the temperature, making the lands comparatively warmer or colder. I think this you have noticed also. When the warm winds used to blow, it makes the temperature warm. And when the cool currents used to blow, when the cool winds used to blow, it makes the temperature cold. Okay, so same is like this. Yes. Winds that pass over warm currents become very warm. Yes, same I have explained here. And observe more moisture due to greater evaporation, thus bringing rainfall to coastal areas, while cold currents decrease the moisture bearing capacity of winds. Okay, so the mixing of warm and the cold currents causes heavy rain. Or one thing more, when the warm and cold currents used to mix, so what happens? It creates heavy fog. Yeah, it is very difficult for the people, those who are traveling in the sea. Acts of hazards of shipping. It is a danger of a risk for the shipping people. The best fishing grounds in the world with an abundance of plankton are located where the warm and cold currents meet. Grand Banks of the coast of Newfoundland, where warm cold streams meets the cold Labrador currents. So there are some places where the warm currents and cold currents used to meet at the particular time. Warm currents melt dangerous icebergs. When these warm currents are melting, they are forming dangerous icebergs. What are icebergs? Very large block of ice that floats on the sea, thus reducing danger to the ships. Whereas cold currents often carry icebergs to the lower latitudes. Okay. So ships prefer to sail along with the currents as they can move very faster, and hence they can save the time and they can save the fuel also. So when they are high currents, it is very useful for the ships because they can move faster and save on time and even fuel also. Okay, so this was some of the ocean currents benefits. Okay, so now come on to the importance of hydrosphere. Importance of hydrosphere, because the whole chapter is based on hydrosphere only. The whole chapter is based on hydrosphere. So let us see some of in many ways how this is useful. The hydrosphere therefore sustains life in the biosphere in many ways. Like water from lakes and rivers is very important for domestical purposes. What are known as domestical purposes? Household purposes. Like, for example, irrigation. Yes, it offers an important connection to transport and communications also between the continental crust. Okay, yeah. Now turn the page, come on to the next page, that is page number 59. So, the various water bodies existing on our planet, the various water bodies which are existing on our planet, like lakes, rivers, ponds, oceans, all this, seas, rivers, all this are a very important source of marine life and marine products. Yes, marine life, the aquatic animals which are living in the sea, and marine products also, marine products which we receive from the sea. Salt and other minerals are obtained from the ocean water. Yes, salt is also obtained from the ocean water. See in the picture how they are just hydroelectricity is also produced. Same matter, salt watering is also going on. Salt water is also being going on. So both the process are done. See, it is benefited how they are collecting the salt. So oceans and other water bodies also influence the weather and climate. Oceans and other water bodies also influence the weather and climates. Tidal energy can be generated from the ocean water. Yes, tidal energy. While hydroelectricity is generated from the rivers. Tidal energy can be generated from the ocean water. Yes, by the tides. Tidal energy is generated by the tides, the rise and fall of the tides. And hydroelectricity which is generated by the river water, by the falling of the river water. Okay, so at the last of the chapter I want to say that as the chapter belongs of hydrosphere, about the water. So my last message is that water is a very costliest resource, precious resource, and it is the gift of God. So we must use it judicially. We should use, what's the meaning of judicially? Wisely. Wisely with sense, and take enough steps to prevent this pollution. We can stop the pollution by making them alert. Enough steps we have to take how we should save water. Water conservation, we have to just protect water. Water should be conserved. We'll go on a long way in ensuring its availability forever. Water conservation only then can we save water, only unless the people don't know the importance of water. Yes, so this was the chapter about hydrosphere, the water world. Hope you have understood. Yes, thank you for listening me.